Hi guys, hi, how's it going today? Hopefully today finds you well. Today I am doing my September haul in retrospect, in which I come to you and I talk to you all about the things that I hauled in last year at this time, and we walk through them kind of in a like rocket fire review type status. I hope that sounds interesting to you. I did pull inspiration from a couple different YouTubers that I watch, but most importantly Mae Beauty. She did this haul in retrospect years ago on her channel, and I found it to be really entertaining, number one. Also very informative, because it's always good to know if we're still using the products that we purchased, brought into our collection a year ago. I know that Haley O also does something along these lines, but I initially pulled inspiration from Lauren. My friend JC talked to me eons ago at this point in time about the fact that she watches my channel pretty religiously, and she was like, you know, you always haul in these things, but you never tell us how you feel about these things after you've hauled them in. And she was right. So about this same time last year, I started doing these haul in retrospects where I came back to you and I talked to you about the things that I hauled in. And what I have noticed is in 2020, I hauled in quite a bit less than I did in 2019. And I think that we can all probably say that, right? With that being said, this will be my haul in retrospect for September of 2020, the things I hauled in and how I feel about them now. For those of you new here, hi, my name is Donna. I'm so happy to have you here on my channel watching. I am a lover of all things colorful, high-end beauty and self-care. I do quite a bit of just makeup commentary here on my channel. I do love to talk about makeup, and this is the platform that I come to do that. There isn't a person in my life that feels the same way about makeup that I do. So I hope that you're in for it, because I'm here to talk to you about it, because that's what I love to do. I also work as a district leader for Ulta Beauty. I do love to bring you all the education pieces that I'm getting from the brands on the items that I do haul into my collection. So I do have some review series here on my channel. I have a Simply Sample series in which I review the samples coming into my life, and then I also have a palette review series in which I review the palettes. 3 of these palettes that we'll talk about today do have palette reviews on them, so I will link them in the cards. Actually, I think all 4. When you see this, all 4 of these palettes will have reviews on them, so I'll link them up in the cards for you all to see. And I do hope that you enjoy yourself while you're here. I hope that you'll want to subscribe before you go. And with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into this haul in retrospect. Okay, so many of you know September is my birth month, so I did haul in a bunch in September, but a lot of it was birthday presents. The first thing I want to talk about is actually a birthday set from Sephora that I got. Rouge members got, I think, 2 additional options that they could choose from, and I chose the Hourglass set. So this is the little mini translucent setting powder that is the Hourglass veil. And then it also came with a Hourglass veil primer that was in this little beautiful, really pretty miniature size of their veil primer. And I loved their veil primer so dang much that I ended up purchasing a full size. But I purchased this full size after it came to Ulta, because there was no way I was spending the money on this that they want for it. So with that said, I love this set. I don't love the powder, but I'm not a powder wearer. You would probably love the powder if you do wear powder. It's very finely milled, it's very beautiful, and it goes on the skin beautifully. You can hardly tell that there is powder on your face. I think I can tell because I don't wear powder. This is a beautiful primer. It kind of feels almost dry, but it's not. It's liquid. It has a little bit of a blue tint to it when you first take it out of the bottle, but that blue tint doesn't show up on your face at all. And I feel like everything I have put over the top of this primer just looked beautiful. So this is like $60 though. Do I feel like it's worth $60? No. I feel like you could get some really great, beautiful primers for less than that, for sure. But because I work at Ulta, I have a discount, and I think I purchased it also on points, so I didn't actually have to pay anything for it. Do I think that the birthday gift was worth it? Sure. I'm glad I got to try the powder. I'm glad I got to try the primer, and it gave me a clue into, you know, a primer that I was really going to love in my collection. So I know that I will probably continue to purchase that primer. So the next items I purchased were from Fabfitfun. At this point in time, I don't think I was subscribed to Fabfitfun. I think I purchased this from my daughter's subscription. They do have an edit sale, and I purchased all these items from the edit sale because I was excited. I was excited that they were in the edit sale. I don't think I've been as excited with an edit sale item since purchasing these items from Fabfitfun, and I am resubscribed. So there's that. I did get 2 new palettes in the edit sale. I do believe these palettes cost me $8 a piece, and I did utilize this one in a palette roulette a while ago. It is a beautiful purple palette. The only shadow in this bunch that I did not like was this one here. I felt like it was really texturizing. It caused or exacerbated a lot of the old lady texture that I have on my eyelids. So I didn't love that shadow, but the rest of these shadows are beautiful. And every eye look I got from this palette was stunning. This palette, I do have a palette roulette on, and I will go ahead and link that up in the cards. This one, I don't have a palette roulette on yet, but I think I will by the time this video goes live. So I will link it in the cards. This is my palette for my palette roulette this week. As a matter of fact, that video I'm wearing everything that I am currently wearing. Palette, I will have my palette roulette on, so I can't really give you a whole lot of thought process behind this palette yet. But please go watch that video that I will link in the cards for you, because it will give you my thoughts and opinions on this palette. This was a beautiful formula, very pigmented, blended very well. So if that one does it, I can't imagine that this one won't. But like I said, please go watch the video that I'm going to link up there for you. I bought this one and this one because I had heard such great things about Ace Beauty, and then I think the next Fabfitfun that came around, I bought 2 more Ace Beauty palettes because of my experience with the purple palette in this collection. So the next 2 items were these. I did get this Kaja. This is a lip gloss. It is the Heart Melter Moisture Melt Lip Gloss Stick. It looks like this, and then you take off the lid and it looks like this. What I can say is, if you're looking at this and I've gotten in close enough, you will see I haven't even used this. This is a retractable lip gloss, so you push it down here and it pumps up the lip gloss for you, and it's a stick for you to use on your lips. So it's like, you know, the Pat McGrath ones that come in a lipstick tube or whatnot. I haven't even used this. I don't know why I haven't used this. I was so excited to try this, and I haven't even used it. So I can't really give you any kind of thought process on that. Then I also purchased this Mae Beauty, and I think this cost me like $7. I think this also cost me like $7 or $9. I can't remember. But this is the Mae Beauty Double Take Sculpt and Strobe Duo Stick, and it is in the shade Fair Lady. It does have like a highlighter on one end, and it's got a sculpt stick on the other. And again, if I'm holding this just right and got you in close enough, you can see I also haven't used this. I really enjoy a contour stick. I really do. I just haven't. I think I purchased this at a time that I was really contouring my face, and then got it and haven't contoured my face much since. But also this came at a time that I had just brought in a ton of stuff. So it just kind of got forgotten about in my collection. I love that I do these haul in retrospects because it reminds me of things that I hauled in forever ago. And I will then remember them when it comes to the Shop My Stash series that I have on my channel here, and putting them in the next Shop My Stash. So know that this will probably be in my next Shop My Stash update as a roll-in, because I cannot believe I have not used this yet. What am I doing with my life? That is what I would like to know. I have not used this yet. I can't give you any thoughts or opinions. The next thing was some stuff from Sigma. I did get some more brushes from Sigma. I did purchase 4 more brushes. I purchased the E30, E55, E25, and then I also got an F05 in my order, which I didn't order but I got two of, actually, which was really quite strange. But at that same time, they came out with an eyeshadow palette that I fell in love with, that I wanted so, so bad, and so I picked it up. This is the Sigma Untamed eyeshadow palette. I've actually done a couple videos with my friend Anna in this palette. I will also link one of them up in the cards. I don't think I have much more room to put much in the cards for you. But this palette reminded me a lot of the ABH Subculture Palette. Very fall oriented, very beautiful, and I have used this. I think I actually also have a palette roulette on it that I will link up in the cards, and this is a beautiful palette. Sigma has a wonderful formula, and I am not sad that I brought this into my collection. I'm really glad that most everything that I'm going over with you in this retrospect has been used in my collection, especially the palettes, because I have a habit of bringing in all kinds of stuff and then never using them. Like, so disappointed to come to you month after month with items I haven't used. The last thing that I rolled into my collection in September of 2020 was the Pat McGrath Labs Celestial Divinity palette. Now, this palette was so polarizing on the YouTube space. Like, everybody was like, how is she offering a palette for $78 when her regular 10-pan palettes go for $125? Like, this palette must be poop. And then people started getting it and they were actually not loving it. If I'm honest, I'm not a huge fan of Pat McGrath's mattes. I love her special shadows and I love her shimmers. And I think that that was the problem with this palette. This palette consists of mostly shimmers. There are 3 mattes in this palette entirely. And you know, I can't say that I'm mad at that. I'm not a giant fan of her matte eyeshadows, but I love the 3 mattes that were in here. I felt like they went with every other shadow in the palette for sure. It was a little more metallic focused than I would have loved in a palette. I do like more of a 50-50 split, but I wasn't mad at this palette. It performed very well. I love that I have it in my collection. I think another thing that it got a lot of flack for is that these 6 shadows here on this end and these 6 shadows here on this end were all repackaged into this palette from her Star Wars collection. And people were kind of mad that they came back out because they were supposed to be like limited edition shadow palettes. The palettes themselves were limited edition, but the shadows ended up back into this, and that kind of pissed some people off. So it is what it is. Like, I don't get all kinds of twisted about that kind of stuff. I remember buying the quite a few limited edition palettes from like maybe Natasha Denona or Kat Von D when it was Kat Von D, or you know, other companies, and then finding out that it wasn't going to be limited edition. Like, you can't just get mad at something so silly. But I will tell you that I do wish this had a little more matte in it, but I am not mad at the purchase of this palette. I love this palette. It was really quite beautiful, and it produced some really quite beautiful eye looks. So that is all the things that I hauled in September of 2020. I'm really happy to say that of the 8 items that I have sitting here in front of me, I have used all but 2, and I'm really excited that one of those items is a full-size item that I purchased after having used the sample size item that I got from Sephora. So please do go check out the palette roulette videos that I popped into the cards for you regarding these palettes that I hauled in. You'll get a much better review of these palettes in those palette roulettes for sure. And I just hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that if you did, you'll consider giving it a big thumbs up. It really does help our channels out here. I also hope that you loved it or loved me enough that you'll consider subscribing to my channel before you go. I would love to have you along for this crazy ride of mine, be part of my crazy but awesome YouTube family, and that I would get to see you down in the comments section. What did you haul in September of last year? Have you used everything that you hauled in September of last year? I would be interested to know. Know that these are going on my list of items to use in my collection. So there's that. And with that, you guys, that's all I got for you. So I hope that 2021 is treating you all kindly. I hope that September is treating you all kindly and that you and yours are well. I hope that we're all just getting along in this crazy, chaotic world we've got that we're living in right now. Don't forget, I do have a giveaway going on my channel right now, so I will link that card down in the description box or in the cards or wherever I'm able to put it. Please go watch that video, get in on the giveaway, and with that being said, love each other, but love each other from afar. And until next time, bye friends.